I'm scrubbing back and forth, and there's something that is literally walking back and forth, independent from the trees. So, and notice this beam of light looking thing that's coming down. It walks along with it. And so the thing walks back and forth. Here it goes. Here it comes again. There it went backwards. Okay, so right as the screen goes white, there he goes. Now, I rewind again. There he goes again. This footage on the screen is of a little flying girl in Russia that a man, allegedly, who walks his dog, caught on video camera while he was walking through the woods. Several people had brought this video to my attention to use in the upcoming video entities. In truth, this video is actually child's play in comparison to the depths of some of the things coming in entities. Equally, if not in many cases, much more dramatic than this. This particular clip actually sort of bothered me because on one hand of the coin, I had one person, actually only one person out of many who have looked at the tape, who felt like it was done on wires, which I have to admit to you, the viewer, I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there when the tape was made, but we analyzed the footage and we found some unusual things in it that I'd like to share with you. Now let's move the clip just a pinch further. Now this is a stabilization of the clip so you can see the little girl up there in the air literally floating around. Now that's the point where the Pandora sisters take off and vanish into the forest. But if there were a harness or wires, when the little girl lowers down, that's the point where it would have to come off. So let's take a look at that. I've actually had several people now who do video editing professionally literally go through a frame at a time, and we've got 3 frames of the mother actually pulling the daughter down, or the daughter lowering down into the mother's hands. She gets the daughter, so if it's on wires, it's seamlessly done. And I'd like to take a look at what some people have claimed the wires up there in the air. What I'd like to first do is simply play the tape so you can look at it and its elements. Now notice how the dog, he's trying to get the dog's attention. Now the dog runs that way. Notice the little girl is not that direction where the dog just ran. Now he's trying to get the dog back, but the dog is looking at something there, and then it gets scared off and runs that way, okay? So this is the point where he notices our little girl, and there she is. So I have a child, here's the mother, that doesn't see the man with the camera yet, but that's actually just part of the shrubbage, because it moves independently, so the little girl can be moving around it, and plus you see that the little girl is actually in front of it, so how she would be connected to it without the jacket being connected to it, and also the way the jacket moves down here. Okay, now I want you to watch right in here. I want you to watch right here on the screen as I scrub back and forth. Watch right there. Look at the legs on it as it walks away. Look on the legs. The trees are independent from the camera moving, so you're getting different angles on the trees. But this little thing here that just walked to the side, that appears to have legs on it. Middle of the night, and I get told you've got to relook at what's in this clip. Millions of Russians have watched this thing, along with people from countries all around the globe, and I can't believe no one has noticed this. So, and this was the first little artifact that was noticed in the footage. So I've got this beam of light here. Now I want you to notice, and we're going to watch this guy down here in just a moment, take a closer look at him. But I want you to watch this. It's almost as if, look how her head gets smacked back right as the beam of light is sort of maybe going through her, but suddenly the head gets kicked back, boom. like that. You even see it knock the little hoodie on her. And then I got my guy down here taking off. So coming back to her one more time. Here she goes. Boom, smacks through the head. And my guy down here is darting off that direction as she is she's up in the air. Look at the way she's floating. She's floating around. I'm gonna scrub you through the clips. So there is the little girl, and she is floating around in the air. Let me move the camera up slightly so you can see above her. So there is the clip. So as we move into the woods, there is our floating little girl. Okay, and there, and you'll notice that this thing back here looks just like this thing here, which looks just like this thing here, which looks just like this thing here. Anyhow, I'll lay that decision in your hands, but the flotation that you're seeing there looks relatively natural. Now as the girl hits the ground, and again there are 3 clips in there where you're going to see the mother actually getting the girl down. So this is how quickly this happens. So that harness would have to come off if she was harnessed to something in that amount of time, where she's able to go from midair, connected to some kind of a wire, to now we're running. Well, anyhow, okay, so here it goes again. Look at that. Let's take a look right in here at what our beam of light is going back and forth, coming from the top of the screen. What it's striking on the head of. Here it is right here, standing on the other side of the little girl's feet. Peekaboo. Spooky. Isn't it? Around it accurately, and you could actually do this frame by frame with this little thing here that is wandering back and forth. There he goes again, and you can literally see the legs on it as it's walking. The leggies going back and forth, the leggies that are sort of apparition-like and come into and out of somewhere. You can see the legs on the thing moving like it's an apparition walking through the woods, going back and forth. Now let me ask you this: does this look like the head of something with a couple of little arms coming down and holding the little girl? Wait a second, hold that thought. That might not be a good enough shot. By the way, none of this is photoshopped. This comes directly from the original clips the way they were. And wait a second, right down here, here's my little thing with the 2 little leggies. That's its plump little rear end right there. Now let's go back to our pooch, Tarzan, that went berserk in the imagery. So here's our dog here, looking, he's dead staring something that way. Boom, he goes that direction. We're going to stop him right there in just a second. Right where he stops and looks at something, and then he's going to change his mind and go that way real quick. Now let's see what he was looking at. Okay, so here's our dog, and here's where he stopped. Now I'd like you to look right here between my fingers. Do those look like 2 eyes to you, and a nose, and a mouth? Right there, looking down at the dog. Now when I enhance the color, and here's our dog right here, just about where he's going to stop, look this way, and then look that way, and take off this direction. Let me ask you this, right in front of that dog where he's running, do these look like the 2 eyes of a large cat right here, particularly when the color is enhanced? By the way, I would encourage you to look at the original footage and go frame by frame so you can actually see this thing here turn and look at the pooch before he takes off that way. So if you outline around it, this thing here sort of comes out as if it were a head. It's a strange artifact in the footage, no doubt. But more than that, looking right in its forehead, does that look like a face? Inside of the forehead coming out right there. And by the way, I would ask you to stop this clip at any point. Go through the footage yourself It's like playing Where's Waldo with these unusual anomalies that look very much like human faces and demons and other things that are right inside, embedded in the footage itself, and seem to look this way and that. So here is another face within the face, and you'll find another face inside of that, along with this one and this one and this one and this one. Now watch this. So here's our unusual little stream of light with the running man made out of beams of light here. This is kind of a fun one. Okay, see the position he's in here. Now these little frames have been one by one. You go, let's look at the next one. Uh-oh, there he is there again. So there's my head now. Now I want you to, now I'm going to zoom in on this. Tell me if you see a hand with fingers right there. Zoom in just a little bit more. Now I am correct that apparition, if I move the clip one click this way, that it's not there in this clip in the same angle. So he's right here, and then several clips later, there he is right there, looking at you. And you can either view this as the two little eyes, or you can view this as the little head looking this direction, where you got the mouth and the nose, little eye right there. A couple of clips later, when the little girl has come down into the mother's arms and they're about to run off, our apparition has morphed before dissipating. So you take a look inside this circle here. You see two eyes, two green eyes, one there and one there, and a mouth. And this thing was coming this direction, and it dissipates. So we got an angry look, if that's indeed what it is, on its face. Just like with any of my stuff, I lay it in your hands to decide what it is exactly in those clips and footage that it is that you're looking at. We did do our best to vet the imagery. Weren't able to actually get in touch with the actual filmmaker, and that's not for lack of trying. In fact, I even had someone to translate Russian, and obviously as well, mother and the daughter certainly couldn't get in touch with them. Can you say boo? Old Mr. Peekaboo there says hello. Now on the flip side of that coin, the video does seem to have quite a few anomalies in it. A lot, actually. The Russian flying girl, though it didn't meet the bar for inclusion into entities, but certainly sufficient for this long overdue update. It is my extremely strong opinion that the very same people running haunted houses are the same people running your UFOs. I'm Trey Smith, and if you enjoyed the theory of everything, Noah and Nephilim, I have this strange feeling that you're gonna really love what's about to come out next. And accordingly, here is the itemized layout. What I have in mind next. I'm Trey Smith. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to this channel. Thank you for watching. And make sure and also visit God in a Nutshell, where you may find a progressive and growing list of things that you might not find much of anywhere else.